All right, hola, you guys. I just wanted to hop on real quick and talk about the word respect. Respect means that you value the other person's thoughts and feelings. You respect their boundaries. When someone tells you that they don't like something, you don't just do it anyway. Like if a person says that they don't like loud music, you don't play loud music whenever they're around. You try to keep it at a respectable volume. You hear people use the word respect all the time, but what's been in my spirit the last couple days or so is the fact that we feel like it's okay to be disrespectful to our own children and to other children because we're up here because we're the adults and they're down here because they're children. But we forget that we were once children too. We wanted to be respected too. We wanted someone to value how we felt when it came to certain things. We wanted people to listen to us when we were children. But for some reason, the older generation, that's just not how they rolled. That's not how they did things. They didn't feel like because you're a child, you don't have a voice, you don't have an opinion. You just have to do what you're told. Basically, I heard all the time, children should be seen and not heard. That's not true. Because how's a child gonna grow up to be a respectable adult if they don't know what respect looks like? So you feel like because they're a child, you can talk to them any kind of way. You can yell at them. You don't have to listen to them. They just have to do what you say, like you say, how you say, no matter how they feel, no matter what they think. But you think that's respect. And you think that child's going to grow up to be respectable to you. No, that child has grown up to be afraid of you. They're not being respectful. They're afraid. I hear that all the time. Oh, they talk about children and say, oh, they're so respectful. They're so well-mannered. That's not what it is. They are afraid. And you have trained them to, if they do something that you don't like or you feel is wrong, that you're going to punish them. So that's the only reason why they're doing it. So as soon as they get up to be an adult, they're going to go do what they want to do. And then it becomes that push-pull, that back and forth. Even as an adult, you're going back and forth with your parents because you're not doing stuff the way that they want you to do it. And it's because you were never allowed to do what you wanted to do as a child. Your voice was never heard. Your opinion was never listened to. So now, and it's still a problem because they feel like you still have to do what they say, like they say when they want you to do it. But that's not how it's supposed to work. That's not respect. That means that they didn't respect you or your opinions when you were a child, and now you're an adult and they still don't respect your opinion or your thoughts. So how do you as an adult, because you were disrespected as a child, so now you carry that on into the next generation and you raise your children the same way. Don't talk to me like that. I'm grown. You're a child, yada yada yada. No, that's not the way it's supposed to be. We need to break that cycle while we can. We need to break it. My 5-year-old and my 3-year-old, they're allowed to tell me how they feel. I don't feel like they're being disrespectful to me if they don't agree with something or like something just because I like it. They're not gonna. They're their own people. They're their own little person. They're not supposed to automatically like stuff just because I like it. They have their own thoughts and their own feelings about things. So now we do talk about volume. We talk about, we use inside voices when we talk to each other. We don't yell at each other. I talk to them about things like that. But I don't take it as disrespect if my child raises his voice. That means he has a feeling. He's excited or he's emotional about something if he's raising his voice. And it's okay for him to raise his voice if he's emotional about something. It's okay for him to cry. We've heard that. I've heard that my whole entire life. Boys not supposed to cry. Oh, you a boy. Stop all that crying. Yada, yada, yada. No, my children are allowed to cry. They're allowed to have feelings and emotions, and they're allowed to express themselves. If I don't let them express themselves now, they're going to grow up to be men who don't know how to express themselves. They're either going to shut down or they're going to flip out anytime they get emotional about something. They're going to shut down or they're going to flip out. And that's not healthy. So if they can't navigate their emotions with me at home, then how are they going to go out into the world and be able to navigate those emotions? Because they've never been taught how. They've never been allowed to feel anything other than happiness. A lot of us, that's how we were raised. Like, we couldn't express ourselves. We couldn't show how we felt about anything, or we were going to get punished for showing, any type of emotion. Or if we showed that we didn't like something that our parents did, because we owed our parents so much. That doesn't mean that that's right. Doesn't mean that it's right just because that's how we were raised. So we have a chance now, to change that whole respect thing when it comes to our children. Because like I was thinking before, my boss didn't talk to me like that. I mean, God doesn't talk to us like that either. When you look at the verses in the Bible, He don't talk to us like that. He doesn't yell at us. He doesn't threaten us. He doesn't treat us like that. He doesn't treat us like you're up here, He's up here, and we're down here. He doesn't treat us like that. He does not treat us like that. And we shouldn't think it's okay to treat our children like that. Like it's a dictatorship. Like we're up here and they're down there and they just got to do what we say because they don't know and we know everything. No, that's not respect. That's not how it works. Like I was saying, I've never had a boss that that I respected just because they yelled at me or cursed at me. A lot of people wouldn't even go to work. They wouldn't even work for a boss like that if they yelled at you, cursed at you, threatened you, punish you, and were always trying to make you do stuff that you didn't want to do. You're not going to keep working for somebody like that very long. So why do we parent? Why do we talk to our children like that? And why do we think it's okay? And why do we expect our children to talk to us respectfully? And a lot of times, all it takes is a conversation with your child. You can ask your child how they feel about something and how they like to be talked to. It's okay to ask them how they like to be talked to. It's okay. It's okay for them to have an opinion. It is perfectly fine. They can have an opinion about things. It's okay. Because they're going to grow up to be adults. And if you don't help them to navigate their emotions now, they're not going to be able to express themselves when they get older. When my dad passed away, I had 3 uncles that did not attend the funeral because they said it was too much. They couldn't handle it. That's because they didn't know how to express themselves emotionally. So I know for a fact the way you are raised as a child, it directly affects you as an adult. So just think about that when you're yelling at your child, when you're cursing at them, when you're belittling them, making them feel bad. I've also seen a quote that said, some of your children's first bully starts with them at home. So think about that. Think about how it felt when you were a child, when people yelled and talked about you and made fun of you and cracked jokes and all that. It didn't feel good. It wasn't respectful of you or your boundaries at all. So just think about that. And like I said, that's been in my spirit the last couple days. And I just wanted to talk about that. Respect yourself and respect others. And most definitely respect your children. We can stop that cycle now by respecting our children. That way they'll know what respect looks like. And they'll be able to demand respect from their partners and other people. Like I would have never, ever gotten into that narcissistic relationship. I would have never done that because I would have ignored those red flags because I would have known that I was being disrespected. But if you've been in an environment and you're just so used to being disrespected, like you don't know what it looks like. You don't know what it looks like to be respected. We talk about that word all the time, but we need to make sure that we're using that word correctly. And it definitely applies when it comes to our children as well. So single parents, don't take out your frustrations from your childhood or your relationship or all the responsibilities, the bills, the this, the that. It's okay to tell your child, I need a moment. Mommy needs a moment. And take a moment. Go in the bathroom. You see what I do. I go sit in the car. Go sit in the car. If you don't have a car, just go sit outside. Take you a little short walk. Don't leave them by themselves. Don't leave your children by themselves. Because mine are not. They're not by themselves. They have someone in there with them. So, as a single parent, we can do this. We got this. God loves you. I love you. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Respect your children. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.